Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's discussion on doing business in China as the world recovers from the coronavirus, despite recent spikes in reported cases globally. My name is Noel Nefshier. I'm Director of International Business Services and Global Strategic Partnerships for Automation Alley, located in Troy, Michigan. And we were created in 1999. Automation Alley today is Michigan's Industry 4.0 Knowledge Center with more than 1,200 members. My roles and responsibilities include helping companies do business overseas and also assist foreign companies set up their operations here in Michigan. The latter includes offering them complimentary office space in our International Business Center while they explore investment opportunities in our region. Today, I'd like to discuss trade and investment opportunities in China, the world's largest economy with a population of 1.4 billion consumers. With me is my colleague, Selena Zhu of the State of Michigan's Foreign Office in Shanghai. Selena, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. In the 20 minutes that we have, I'd like to begin by asking you to describe the most requested services that you provide to Michigan companies doing business in China.
Sure. Nice meeting you, Noah. Hi, I'm Selena from the Michigan China office. Thank you so much for inviting me to participate in this interview. Our office is located in China's most dynamic city, Shanghai. We provide a wide range of trade services to Michigan companies to facilitate their entrance into the China market. So some of the most requested services that we provide to Michigan companies. Firstly, we provide monthly report on China's macroeconomy. For example, understanding China's newest economic policies, detailed report on China's most promising industries in which Michigan companies are interested in and they have export opportunities. Also, we provide general assistance to Michigan companies, consulting service to those companies who have difficulties or problems while doing business in China. We also provide market research and matchmaking services, like detailed market research on certain industry to help the companies to decide whether they have to enter the China market. And if they decide to enter, we help them to connect with potential partners like distributors, agencies, business partners, associations, and experts to better help them enter the market. We also have, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, as you know, Automation Alley, we've done a number of missions to China, and we can't thank you enough for all the help and support you've given us and contributing to the success of the companies that we take with us.
Yeah, sure. It's our pleasure to help all the companies that in need for any business in China.
Sure. So how was China able to recover so quickly from the coronavirus, and what's the economic outlook for your country in 2021?
Well, China has taken very strict measures to contain the virus, especially during early detection in late December 2019 to March 2020. China has taken several really important measures like mass testing, strict social distancing, and trace and tracking using big data. I would like to particularly talk about the trace and tracking using big data. So take Shanghai as an example. Like other cities in China, Shanghai has issued a Shanghai QR code. I'm not sure if you know that, but well, data from different departments like health, public security, and 3 major telecommunication operators are collected. And data is automatically generated in the background through big data analysis and collection calculation to show the health status of each individual. So
interesting that you mentioned. Yeah, interesting that you mentioned big data and artificial intelligence, because that also sped up the development of the vaccines that we've seen coming out of China, Russia, the UK, Germany, as well as the US.
Right, yeah.
So what about the pandemic? How has that changed China in terms of accelerating the adoption of technologies related to Industry 4.0? That includes obviously what you refer to as AI and big data, but how's it impacted the advanced manufacturing industries, because I know that one of the big changes in the world today is the adoption of technologies like the ones that we're using right now, video conferencing tools to conduct meetings, given that we can't go in country and travel has been limited. So again, if you could just talk about how China's been impacted in terms of adopting existing technologies or new technologies to combat the virus and improve the economy.
Well, actually, Industrial 4.0 is have been mentioned earlier and is emphasized in China's 14th five-year plan as areas like advanced manufacturing, automation, or maybe robotics. 5G are some of the most crucial fields in China's future development plan. The pandemic can surely speed up this process. We have observed several trends during this process. First is the development in the advanced manufacturing. In China, starting from March 2020, factories here started to resume production. So it is very obvious that those manufacturers who can quickly recover and resume operations are highly automated with advanced technologies like Foxconn and Baosteel's light out factory, dark factory like this. And so more smaller and traditional manufacturers are, they have to think ways to transform their production process from traditional labor intensive to a more intelligent and automated approach with less manual labor, and in order to save labor costs and also to work under these special circumstances. And also the second is the intelligent supply chain and storage. More and more manufacturers also came to realize that the importance of mitigating supply chain risks, building resilience, and increasing flexibility in this really crucial part. So another direction of exploration as we observing is to build intelligent supply chain ecosystem to connect together all the key points throughout the manufacturing cycle. Like Lenovo, they have built a supply chain platform using innovative technologies in predictive analysis, artificial intelligence, and blockchain to predict and serve customers. And there's the unmanned economy, like, so it's another area that promoted by the pandemic. The development of the robot is another major trend during and after the pandemic. Like most of the development robots was still in the ideal stage before the pandemic. But after that, the market demand for contactless work has increased and it's becoming more important under this scenario. So it is a great opportunity for the robot industry. And so that are the industries that I believe that the pandemic has speed up process in these areas.
Yeah, your observations sort of reflect the trend here in the United States, especially when it comes to building resiliency as well as redundancy into supply chains. So I think you know, the world has sort of learned a lesson, and you could do that also and achieve economies of scale as well. So what are China's most highly demanded products, services, and technologies from the U.S.?
Well, if we take U.S. as a total, China was United States' third largest goods export destination in 2019. So the most demanded products are high-tech, high value-added products that are usually not replaceable, like electric machinery, which account for the value, total export value in 2019 is $14 billion. Aircraft, $10 billion, optical and medical instruments, $9.7 billion. And agricultural product as a whole is also highly demanded, which totaled $14 billion in 2019. If we look at the Michigan individually in 2019, billion with transport equipment, chemicals, and computer and electronic products are the top three export category in terms of products to China.
Right, right. Selena, I believe we got cut off. Can you rename those three products in biggest demand from Michigan? You said transport.
Yeah, sure. Transport equipment,
Okay.
chemicals, and computer and electronic products.
Right.
With transport equipment accounts for 54% of
Sure.
the total exportation. So it's really a large category with products like motor vehicle parts and motor vehicles. These are the most demanded products, I believe, from Michigan to China.
Sure. You know, speaking of automotive, there's a big push in China for electric vehicles.
Yeah, right.
A little bit about that.
Excuse me?
Can you talk a little bit about China's electric vehicle market?
Yeah, China has a really fast growing electric vehicle market. And China has given a lot of subsidiaries to this market. Like in Shanghai, you cannot you cannot get a plate. The normal plate is really hard to get. But if you want a electric plate, it is really easy to get one if you just buy an electric car. So
Sure.
that really means that China is pushing the development of the electric car vehicles market, actually.
Right, right. Yeah, you see that a lot in the United States too, the way toward electric
Right.
vehicles.
Yeah.
So Selena, couple more questions before we conclude the interview. One being, where do you see, or from the viewpoint of Beijing, where do you see the relationship between the U.S. and China in the area of trade and investment moving forward? I know that there's been some trade disputes, tariffs, talk about decoupling, but can you maybe give us the viewpoint from Beijing?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, China itself this year has adopted a dual circulation that give full play to the advantage of a huge domestic market, then create maybe a new development pattern whereby domestic and foreign market can boost each other. That shows that China still remains an open attitude toward foreign trade and investment. Of course, during the whole year of 2020, there have been escalating arguments between the two governments over issues like the sources of the virus, government attitude towards epidemic response, trade dispute, and also Hong Kong and Xinjiang issues are really huge problems. But all these have added uncertainties to the US-China relations. However, as the two biggest economies in the world, it is really impossible for the two countries to decouple from each other without paying huge costs. So I believe that Beijing is still seeking ways to ease the tension. Now, with the transition of the new US administration, it is commonly believed here that the change of the power might bring about relaxation and future dialogues between the two countries over some cooperation, make the trade deal, education visa, and so therefore creating more clues for a maybe redefined US-China relationship, which means a better prospect for the US-China relations in the future is to form a relationship of competition with also cooperation. So there is competition, of course, it's inevitable, but it's controllable while maintaining necessary cooperation.
Sure.
Thank you.
You know, they're the world's two largest economies. We're inextricably intertwined. And I think moving forward is in everybody's best interest to try to get these disputes resolved, not just for China and the US, but also for the entire world economy. So
That's true.
with the Biden administration coming in, they might be able to bridge some of those gaps and you know, really try to bring this dispute towards some sort of a resolution that's mutually beneficial for both China and the U.S. as well as I mentioned, equally important is the global market too. Final question. What is the best advice beyond due diligence that we would give to an American company that's looking to do business in China for the first time?
Well, so China is a huge market. So of course, there are some suggestions that I would give to US companies. First, be prepared. Make sure that you understand all the legal rules and restrictions in China. Make full market research on your target industry. Make careful decision on you want to start your business. So the location is really important. China is so huge, and doing business in the East Coast and in the West Coast is completely different.
Right.
So China, yeah, recent years, China has a lot of free trade areas where foreign companies can really have benefits and advantages while doing business in these areas.
Right.
And also, yeah, be flexible. China is really a fast growing market and it changes so fast. You have to pay attention to all the trends in China. And
So, yeah, it's
build a
it's a
team.
great observation that you made,
Right.
in terms of sometimes companies have the reckless penchant of treating China as a monolithic entity. And as you,
Mhm.
there is a difference between doing business on the East Coast versus in the western part of the country or southeastern part of the country.
Right.
See that here in our own country. I mean, doing business in New York is a lot different than doing
Mhm.
business in Los Angeles.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So,
And also, oh, go on.
yeah. So anyway, this has been a wonderful interview. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today, Selena, and also thank you for all the great work that you do for Automation Alley, the state of Michigan, and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. With that, I want to wish you a happy Chinese New Year. That's right around the corner on February 12th. It's the year of the ox, and the qualities of an ox are there hardworking, intelligent, and honest. None of the qualities of which I possess. But anyway, I'm a work in progress. So I'm going to try to become a better person this year. So Selena, with that, thank you very much, and have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon.